There we go. He's running with it. Now he just realized he was hooked. There we go. That's how easy it is with a BJ spinner. Worth its weight in gold. Easy release. Hi, I'm Jimmy Smith, owner and manufacturer of BJ's Lures. We've been making these spinners for 27 years here on the Little Red River. This is probably one of my favorite. It's called my BJ's Gold. And right there is just a red worm put on a number 6 panfish hook. We like to take these lures, throw them upriver, and just kind of drag them. Float down river and let the boat pull the lure. That blade will go to working like that, and it'll draw their attention and tear them up. Let's see if we can catch one. I got my friend Doug Pierce in the back of the boat. Very good fisherman. Doug, you got your line in the water?
Just about. I'm not going to let you have all the fun with those BJ Golds.
In 27 years, we've caught trout, bass, crappie, walleye, brim. You can catch hybrid bass up in Grease Ferry Lake. We take and put other artificial lures on the back of the spinner. There's one that's called a cast master that you can hook on, and when the hybrids are coming up on Grease Ferry and they're schooling on top of the water, you can sickle them out there with your bass rod and reel and tear the hybrids up. And also a lot of people use them to catch walleye up on Grease Ferry at night, and they just do it simply by the way we're doing it here. They just drag them, troll them with the worm dangling behind them. You can take and put a leader on the back of the spinner and then put your hook in the worm or a minnow. And we have a lot of success taking the lure and putting a minnow behind it, and we've got various size blades, and you control the BJs in some of the White River Oxbow lakes and catch a lot of crappie. It's an awesome way to fish. Beautiful. Fishing the Little Red River here up at Heber Springs. That's what it's all about right there. I can't resist it. BJ's Gold. There's one. He don't know where he's going. That's a little bit nicer there. BJ's and a red worm. Go. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Got him. We might need net on this one.
There's a double.
You got a double?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Around each other, huh?
I think it, is that mine on your line? No, no. Oh, he come off.
You can see him too.
How about that?
I think the better fish.
He didn't count either. You have to get him in the boat to count him, don't I? I like to use about 6 pound, 8 pound monofilament fluorocarbon. You tie your line right there. And you come down on this end. You'll see that little snap. Just unhook it away from the main shank of the wire. And just pull your hook off just like that. Without poking yourself. And then keep from getting a lot of twist in your line, I like to put a swivel up about 18 inches. That one's just a cheap swivel. A barrel swivel normally works a little bit better. And then I like to put just a little bitty split shot on. Kind of help you cast it out there and also kind of drag a little bit lower in the water and keep your lure from getting hung up. Most of the time the sinker will hit the rock or sticks before your lure will get hung up. You can just kind of ease your pole up when you feel it. Keep from losing it. And that's the way we rig that thing up. Now we're going to show you the results of the BJ's Gold with a red worm. Beautiful March day here on the Little Red River. Home of the world record 4 pound test line brown trout. 40 pounds, 4 ounce. Throw it out there and just lock your bail. You just let the current push your boat downriver. Just drag the spinner behind you. Every now and then you got to give it just a little bit of turn. If the water's a little bit low or the wind's kind of blowing you a little bit, might have to just ease your reel around just a little bit. And if you look out on the tip of the pole, you'll see it vibrating because that spinner's under there turning. That's the way you know your lure's working. There we go. And our guide's got another trout. Good job, Doug. Oh, we had one. I saw him come off there. Did you have a power egg on?
That was a power egg.
You can put power eggs on. You had a chartreuse?
Yep.
These red worms, Canadian night crawlers are just excellent. They tend to hit them things a lot. Sometimes you'll lose part of your worm if you don't catch him. Red worms are a lot smaller and they tend to just fit more natural looking onto the hook. Free's not going to like them a little better. There's one, Josh. I'm sitting there looking at that nice swing up there. Come on in here. Double on it. Double doubles. Good job, Mr. Doug.
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful. Come on. There's one.
There he is.
That was a better trout hook set. A while ago I tried to set the hook like it was a 10-pound bass.
See a silver side.
Gold got him.
Net.
I kiss him like Jimmy Houston.
It's like they're yours. I tell folks I've never seen a trout I didn't like.
That's
No
right.
matter how big he is or how little he is. Never seen one I didn't like.
Now I had a guy one time, good fisherman. A friend of mine gave him some lures.
Yeah.
And then I ran into him one day and it was sleep. He was known for fishing any type of weather. I said, "You're that fellow my friend gave lures to." And I said, "You doing good?" And he just kind of grinned. He said, "Your lures they're pretty good. They'll catch a lot of fish." He said, "But fish won't hit them because they're hungry." He said, "They're just territorial. They get in their territory and they're hitting." He said, I like to use little marabou jigs like that world record was caught on."
Yeah.
So I was kind of,
Yeah.
thinking he was trying to make me feel bad. Well, later I figured out that he was really telling me that the BJs makes them hit even when they're not hungry.
I like the way these fish.
There's one. That's making that reel just scream. He's about 8 ounces. He's better than nothing though. He's like, "Let me go." Easy guy. Right, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Go.
BJ's gold.
Bitch.
It's the only way to go.
Like it.
Chartreuse power egg. You just have one power egg.
One a power egg.
So you took one off and then
Yeah.
helped it.
And it changed it right. Didn't go 50 yards after
I'll be
I
darned.
pulled one off.
Isn't that
Easy to fish with a power egg, just as easy as anything else.
Turns it on. Turns it on.
That kind of hooked a little bit weird.
You got him right at the party spot again.
BJ's gold
BJ's gold.
on the Little Red River. Nothing like it, folks. Nothing like it. Easy to fish. Anybody can do it.
Puts fish in the boat.
Looks alright. Salmon red beads, 24 karat gold plated blade. We catch brim in a pond, crappie, bass, walleye. This is one of the flies that we fish behind it. If you don't want to use live bait like worms, worms typically get a lot of bites. These red and black flies, You might not get as many bites, but they seem to catch bigger fish. I have a friend of mine that ties that for me. Really don't have a name for it. And then this one's always been real productive. It's green with a little orange tail, got some flash in it. Now the green one with a little bit of orange and brown has always seemed to catch more fish for me. We've got several colors of BJ's lures. We've got gold, we've got nickel. I've got some chartreuse bladed lures with gold beads that seem to work pretty well. You can pick these up at Bass Pro Shops in Springfield, also in Branson, Missouri, Little Rock, Arkansas, and at the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee. BJ's been around for 27 years, still going strong. In Heber Springs, you can pick them up at Golden Outdoors, Heber Pond and Gun. Searcy, you can get them at 10M Pawn Shop. Paymer Nursery and Bait carries them. I Do Rental carries them. There's fish right there. And White River Supply in Augusta carries them. But before you go trout fishing, or crappie fishing, or brim fishing, make sure you get you some BJ's lures. You might not catch anything. Fish on. Come on in, I'll let you go. BJ's lures is probably the most versatile lure on the market. You can put live bait on, such as worms, night crawlers, minnows, shad, or you can put artificial baits on. I'm gonna get him in the water, get him on the hook. BJ's Gold. It's the only way to go.
Another fish on a BJ Gold.
BJ's and a red worm. Daddy, we're going through a lot of moss right here, and you can feel that on your blade when it's turning through it, and you just kind of raise your rod tip up, keep it above it. After you get through the moss, you can just kind of lower your rod tip back down and go back to fishing. And if you get hung up, it's a good idea for all the other fishermen to reel their lines in, and you can just motor the boat up past the lure where it's hung up, and you can just pull it right off the log or whatever it's hung up on. Oh yeah, hook set. Come on in, baby. He couldn't resist that BJ's Gold, man. All right. One good thing about these lures, if you'll notice, we catch them. If we don't catch them right in the front of their lips, we'll catch them right on the side. So it's real easy to get that hook out of their mouth without hurting them. If you can get your lure out of the net. Yeah, there we go. That one came right out. So if you're just fishing for a lot of fun and you're not planning on eating any, The mortality rate is next to nothing fishing with a BJ's. There's one.
I would have gave anything.
BJ's gold in the middle of the day. Doug, you want to keep that one?
I'm gonna say we'll let him go.
Let him go.
Like I say, you can't beat it at 1:30 in the afternoon, the sun beating down. Most people are off the river. If you want to go home, quit fishing, because it's getting hot and everything else, and you can see we still catching fish.
See where I hung that one?
BJ go.
Right in the bottom of the lip. Pop that hook right out. Nothing to it. I hadn't even seen it yet. He's looking like it's a decent one. That's a bass.
I thought that was a bass.
Look at here. Get in there.
BJ
Wow.
catch it all. We're staying deep. I wondered if it wasn't a brown. I thought I saw that lateral line.
BJ's gold. Little Red River. That's Kentucky, isn't it? Spotted bass. Caught him right beside of the mouth. Not only catches trout, catches bass on the Little Red River. Heber Springs, JFK Park. That was the bonus right there, man. Awesome day, awesome day. Little Red River, BJ's Lures. Hey folks, I'm Jimmy Smith with BJ's Lures. I make these little spinners that we float down the river and catch millions of trout on. We've been in business since 1990. We've got a vast variety of colors, sizes of spoons that we use. The way I like to fish them, I take and put a number 6 hook right on the back of the lure, and then I like to put a red worm or a night crawler on the hook, and then we like to turn sideways and throw the lure upriver. Got a little bitty split shot right above a swivel. You always got to have your swivel on there to keep your line from twisting up. And then we like to just set our bail and let the boat pull the lure down the water. And that'll make that blade spin right there. If you can get a shot of that. And that entices the fish, and they come in and they can't resist that worm that's sitting on the back of it. We catch brim in a pond. We catch bass. You can go to Heber Springs at Greers Ferry, catch hybrid bass and walleye. You can go to Oxbow Lakes on the White River and tear up the crappie using minnows as a trailer instead of a worm. I've got some people that put a jig on the back of it, and they'll tip it with a minnow, and then they spider rig it and troll, and they catch them crappie. Today we've been fishing. It's March the 8th, 2017. We've been fishing up here at Greers Ferry at, well, actually Heber Springs at JFK Park, right below the dam. I've got some good friends with me today. I had one that ran the boat for us, and 2 that's been running the cameras for us. And we had a pretty good day. It's a little bit slow, but we caught some fish. We got some good footage. And I'd like to welcome at this time Mr. Doug Pierce. He was
Hey Jimmy, how you doing?
Good.
Had a great day with you on the water today. Glad I was able to help out, I guarantee. Well, I just listening, wanted to add one other thing. One of the things as a guide on the river, we catch a lot of fish on the Little Red River. And I think is such a great thing about your lure too, even though we're using, as you said, night crawlers, red worms, power bait, we caught fish on that hook. Those fish come up and they still get lip hooked. Right. Which is a great thing. Very rarely do you get one that swallows it, so it's real easy for catch and release. And like I say, play the fish in, you know, you can turn them back loose and everything else. But they hit hard, fight hard, and just nothing but a great day, great time to be on the water, and a very easy lure to fish with. That's the neat thing. I mean, if you can cast just a little bit, you can cast and reel.
You can catch fish.
You can catch fish on that lure. That's what is so neat about it. It sure is.
Well, I've had a wonderful time, and I appreciate you taking me out today with these guys and doing a little filming and catching some rainbow trout here on the Little Red River.
Well, it was sure a pleasure, I'll guarantee it. We'll see you on the river again, all right?
And you're the owner of Stream Dreams Guide Service, correct?
Yes, yes.
Cameron, Arkansas.
And like I say, thank you much, and like I say, we enjoyed it, and like I say, great lures. You can't say anything better about them. They catch trout. That's the thing, and everything else. But I use them primarily for trout fishing. But I've caught, like Jimmy said, I've caught brim and bass, and
we got a bass today too.
Caught bass while we were on the Little Red today. We sure did. Sure did. Well, thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. Well, I hope today's video and the instructions that we've given to you will help you in your catch ratio for catching trout, crappie, and brim, and bass, and walleye. You can pick these lures up at the Bass Pro Shops in Springfield, Missouri, Branson, Missouri, at the shop in Little Rock, Arkansas, and also at the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee, and various places throughout White County and Searcy, Arkansas. And if you need to, just call that telephone number right there and you can get a hold of me personally. I want to thank you for your business. I appreciate you being a customer, and get you some BJ's lures at your local Bass Pro Shops. I'm Jimmy Smith.